Good morning. Welcome back to Misty Ridge Homestead. It has been a little bit since we filmed a video. I've been filming, it's just hadn't had the time to edit it, put it all together. But it's the end of August and the garden is wild. It's completely out of control, and some things, which I'll show you, have just kind of taken over everything. And I'm just letting it because I think it's pretty. So it's a little weedy, but we're going to go walk through and take a look and see what we got. So let's go. Welcome in. Check out those red zinnias. I have got zinnias everywhere this year and they're beautiful. These will probably have to be pulled out at some point because I've got a beautiful David Austin rose planted in there that I don't want this to keep from growing. So just give you a quick glance over a couple things. We'll come back to that magical spot. Need to dry some sage. Notice these, there's some yellow zinnias that I had in this little corner. And this sweet little sunflower is starting to touch his head. Zazu says good morning. I've got red ripper peas growing on the right. They should be, some of them will be ready to harvest soon. Okay, Zazu, everybody hears you. And look at those purple blossoms. Aren't they beautiful? On the left side of this bed, I replanted rattlesnake beans and they just didn't germinate. I think I got one coming up over there. And this monstrosity, excuse Zazu. This monstrosity is a pumpkin, and I'll show you a surprise in there a little bit later. But I've got 3 pumpkins in the garden that are just taking over everything. Let's see if there's any fruit in here. Pumpkins just completely, oh yeah, looky there. There's one. And the zinnias, we'll look at them a whole bunch more because I'm in love with my zinnias and my cosmos this year. I don't know what kind of butterflies those. Okay, Zazu, that's enough. These cosmos I planted with my asparagus because I read somewhere that they could grow together, but I'm afraid I may have lost my asparagus. Look how beautiful. Probably will have to start a new asparagus patch. The strawberries need to be expanded. They've outgrown their bed. That's one of my rhubarbs. And there's that pumpkin again. Now let's walk over here. I replanted some basil in a couple of different places, and I'm letting the big one that I've been harvesting off of go to seed. And I'm also letting some dill go to seed because I never have enough seed. Okra needs to be harvested and given to the chickens or something. I've probably got all I want from this year. And this sunflower has bees just loving on it. It's just, the bees just love it, love it, love it. Check it out. That yellow vine there was a Kajari melon. I think I've got all the fruit off of it. It's time for it to get pulled out. That is another one of the pumpkins growing. I'll show you. It's going crazy. But let's see if there's any more Kajari melons in here. Kajari melon is a little orange striped melon. It's a personal size melon. It's not very big, about the size of a cantaloupe, I guess, or a little smaller. And we've really enjoyed them, but I think it's done. And these are some more of the cherry tomatoes. Those are champagne bubbles. This whole area here is just full of cherry tomatoes, and it's probably the only tomato vine I'm going to keep in. I'm about to pull all the rest of them out so I can replant for fall. Oh, poor little yellow zinnia. It got broke. So check out this pumpkin. I am just amazed. Look how far it goes. It goes all the way to the end, and there's another one of the basils I planted. That whole area there is peppers, like pimento peppers, and most of them are cayennes and serranos and jalapenos on this side. I'll let those grow just a little bit longer. The other peppers on the other side are notapinos, and which tastes like a jalapeno, but it don't have the bite. And I'm probably going to pull this whole row of yellow tomatoes and all of the non-spicy peppers out in the next few days. Go, pumpkin, go. Isn't it fun? This area here where this tire is, this is getting pulled out, and I'm putting a high tunnel in here in the next couple of weeks. Overgrown and amazing. Just so much abundance. A lot of food still in there, actually. That round bed is where I'm going to put a Jerusalem artichoke, and then those two longer beds, one is for onions and one is for garlic. This is a volunteer cantaloupe. Let's see if it's ready to pull out. Not quite yet. Soon though. And then there's a volunteer watermelon. Oh, so much food. This is just amazing. I love it. I planted several different kinds of zinnias in here this year. I'll have to see if I can look up the name. They're beautiful, and there's so many butterflies in there. I don't know which kind of butterfly that is. If you guys know, let me know. I just think they're beautiful. And there's a planter. There's a pretty pink planter under there somewhere, but you can't even see it anymore. And the cosmos that I interplanted with the asparagus, I don't know, I may have lost my asparagus to the cosmos. But that's okay. I think I'll be okay with that. Because this is just so beautiful. It's right here by where I sit with my morning coffee. It's just amazing. And so many bouquets. The cool thing about zinnias is the more I pick, the more they grow. And I use these in the fall too. As they dry, I use them for dried flowers in arrangements on my mantle and in different places. I haven't picked a bouquet of the cosmos yet, but I'm going to. I mean, today. I think I'll take a big old bouquet of all of this in. It's so beautiful. I'm sitting out here drinking ice water. In the early morning, I drink coffee out here, but it's a little later in the morning. Oh, let me show you this magical place. Remember I told you when we come in, we come back to that magical spot? This is a new area in the garden, and I planted cucuzza squash. It's maybe a gourd, actually. And I planted, there's a pumpkin in here. This is the third pumpkin that's kind of going insane, taking over everything. But everything in here is just, this whole trellis is just covered. Cucuzza squash and tromboncini squash, which are cool because you can, there's a pumpkin, because you can, you eat them like zucchini when they're green and long. I'll show you some in a minute. And then if you leave them on the vine, they turn brown. You eat them like a, winter squash. And they're supposed to taste like a butternut. I'll let you know. Whole bunch of sage I need to, and there's some pineapple sage on the other side too. Oh, little droopy sunflower in here with all of the cherry tomatoes. There's the pineapple sage over there. Let me draw some of that for tea. I'm going to see something kind of funny, kind of not. We have these rogue chickens, 2 of them. Apparently, they have been enjoying my garden. And those are my blue eggs. So I'm not wondering why I wasn't getting any blue eggs in my basket when I gathered eggs. But they're not allowed in the garden, so we're going to have to do something about that. That's not okay. I honestly wouldn't mind it a whole lot if they'd hatched some chicks out, but they're not even sitting on them. They're just laying them and hiding them and leaving them. So that's just wasteful. Don't we have a wonderful God who gives us such beauty to enjoy? Now, so those, oh, you can't see now, the long brown, those are the tromboncinis that I'm saving for winter. And then there's some cucuzis in here. And on the very end, there's some snake beans that are just getting started. They have flowers, but no fruit yet. There's a melon. I don't remember planting. That looks like a tiger melon. I don't remember planting him there. And this is a new bed, so it's not volunteering from last year. I guess the birds could have dropped it over there. Look at all this food. Jethro says good morning too. He's our new bull. Got him to breed with Maggie May, our Dexter mix. He's a full Dexter. He's a little guy, but he's cute. And there's the blossoms getting ready to produce some snake beans, I'm hoping. And there's one starting. There'll be a curly, big old bean, and that's supposed to taste like a green bean. Again, this is the first year I've grown almost everything in this area. I'll let you know what it tastes like. And then this is my yellow tomato and my bell pepper area, and this is a lilac bell. I've been pulling them off here that were quite a bit bigger. This one's a little bit small, but it'll still be pretty. And my red tomatoes have not done well this year. I have a few black beauties in there. My favorite tomato is a Paul Robeson, and I bet I've only got 2 off of it. With the heat, they produced, but they just stayed green and wouldn't get ripe. So we're going to do a green tomato salsa verde next week. Because this all has to come out so I can start some fall stuff in here. But these tomatoes, I started from seed. And some of my trellises are probably a good 12 feet high. Some of them are going up and over, so they're like 14 feet long. Big old things. And back to the red zinnias. I'm going to have to cut those and move them, I think, because I really do have a really, really pretty David Austin pink rose that I want to grow over the trellis there. This is a little dwarf zinnia. I didn't know it was dwarf when I planted it, but it is so pretty. It's got pink on the inside. They don't do as well for cut flowers, but they're beautiful. So this side was supposed to be all of my yellow tomatoes on the right. Oh, there's that pumpkin going way out there. I'm just going to see how far it goes. And then I've got shishito peppers here and notapinos. And on the back row, those are all supposed to be yellow tomatoes. However, somehow I got a red Roma tomato in there. And I don't normally plant Romas because I don't enjoy them. But I'm awful glad that it came in there. That's a... Yes, Jethro. That was a lemon tomato, I believe. And this has turned out to be one of my favorite places in the garden this year, outside of the flowers, of course. All right, y'all, I got to go do some work. So I really do have to go do some work here. My husband just called. We had ordered a beef for a freezer, and he just called and said it is here and ready. And my freezer was not ready for it. So I'm gonna have to go and do some work and get ready for him to bring in a beef. We have 3 freezers, and I'm gonna have to do some organizing and rearranging, and probably maybe even some canning. I probably got to make some bone broth and probably process some tomatoes somehow. So let's go get it. We now have 3 freezers of beef. I canned about 10 pounds of what I had in the freezer to make room, and we pulled out a bunch of tomatoes. Here's Jethro when we first brought him home. He's a little guy, see? He's our full Dexter.
How easy it was to load him, too.
Was it really?
Yeah. He walked right up in that.
Oh. My Confederate Rose, and there's Comanche saying hello. We made applesauce, y'all. Lots and lots of applesauce. Because the apples were ready, too. It has been a busy, busy couple of weeks. Applesauce, salsa. There's the tomatoes and peppers. We're getting ready for the salsa. Beautiful harvest. Salsa. Lots of salsa. We eat lots of salsa. Strawberry leaves for tea. And a final look at the zinnias. Y'all, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. We'll see you next time.